Hey guys, back with another video for you today. I've got a guest here with me. It's Sarah Baker.
Hi, I'm Sarah Baker.
We've got leather fragrances for you today. Underrated leather fragrances. Ones that you might have not heard about, or maybe you have but haven't gotten your nose on yet. If you want to find out what they are, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. This is Sarah.
I'm Sarah. Hi.
Sarah Baker has her own perfume line. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. I've got videos on the channel. And she does have a fragrance in this list. Yes. We're going to talk about it. All of the leather fragrances in this video are fairly underrated. You might have not heard about these, so we're doing a video to highlight them. So we're going to start off first with J.U.S. Parfums. This is CUIRISSIME. So this is CUIRISSIME right here in this most beautiful violet colored bottle, because it's violet colored because it has violet as a note. So this is, yes, like violet candy and leather to me. It's a beautiful combination. Are you a fan of violet?
I like violet.
You do? Mm-hmm. Do you like leather?
I like leather.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. What are some of your favorite leather fragrances?
Aside from my own.
Yeah, aside from your own.
Yeah, we have some on this list that I really like, so I'm excited to talk about them. Okay. This is a really nice fragrance, but I didn't know about it until today, actually.
You didn't know about it? Yeah, this is one of my favorites from this house. It's leather with lots of violet, along with violet leaves, and there's also iris concrete, amber extreme, hedione, and astratone. Very interesting molecular notes, but the violet is very, very pronounced here. And it's a nice combo with the leather.
Yeah. Feels
like a signature combo. Leather and violet. Mm-hmm. Think Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I hadn't even made that connection.
Yeah. So that's J.U.S. Parfums CUIRISSIME. And then we've got Amouage, Reckless Leather. Are you guys familiar with this one? This is from the Opus collection. I believe it's created by Alberto Morillas along with... forgetting the name.
I don't remember.
It's featuring notes of Costus, Frankincense, Cypriol, sandalwood, oud, ambroxan, leather, ambergris, patchouli, pink pepper, galbanum, nutmeg, fenugreek, cardamom. So many notes. And it's Pierre Negrin. I believe this is created by Pierre Negrin along with Alberto Morillas. And it's a pretty intense, spicy, cumin-y.
You said cumin earlier, and I thought definitely, but it's not listed in the notes.
No, I think sometimes some notes come off when they crash with other notes, creates an explosion.
Yeah, I love this.
This is really good.
I really love a spicy leather, and this is definitely like really interesting. Yeah, it's unusual.
I actually turned this one on to my barber, and he wears it, and he thinks it's not necessarily beastly enough for him, and he's always asking me what's stronger than this, and I think this is pretty strong.
A couple more sprays, maybe.
Yeah, a couple more sprays of Reckless Leather. So this is Amouage's Opus collection or library collection fragrance, Reckless Leather.
Next.
Then we've got Le Galion's AESTHETE. This one right here. Are you guys familiar with Le Galion? For a while they were selling these at Neiman Marcus. I'm not sure if they're still there. But this one is it's a bit sweaty. If you like the idea of sweaty fragrances, this is definitely that. It's leather with oud, a Guaiac wood, Castoreum. I think it's the Castoreum that creates that sweatiness. Saffron, Mandarin, Incense, Artemisia. What are your thoughts?
Well, Castoreum is definitely can have a leathery aspect to it anyways. So
they used to use Castoreum to create the leather accord in the past, right?
Yeah, I think that it is used still to create a leather
accord. It is?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
It's not inhumane?
Well, you can... First of all, there's synthetic Castoreum.
Yeah.
And second of all, beavers are culled, and so they're actually killing beavers anyway. So obviously, if you're a vegan, then you'd need to know if the Castoreum is real in your fragrance or not.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can actually still have real Castoreum in fragrance, for sure.
All right.
I know that because some of my fragrances have real Castoreum.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, so the next fragrance we're talking about is from the house of Atelier des Ors. This is CUIR SACRE, this one right here. Do you know how to say cuir or leather in French? I have a hard time with it.
Sorry. I can't help you there.
It's
my French is pretty diabolical.
This is actually smoky and spicy leather for me with a major dosage of vetiver. It's got vetiver, leather, cardamom, incense, cypress, saffron. This one definitely has kind of a very prominent cardamom note, and I feel like I'm smelling something coffee cardamom combo, but it's definitely very vetiver-y.
Yes, it's lovely. It's really it's a gentle leather. It's not like a very strong leather, in my opinion. It has
No,
like
not animalic, not very smoke charred birch-like leather. It's definitely very wearable.
Easy to wear leather fragrance actually.
Yeah. All right, next we're going to the house of J.F. SCHWARZLOSE Berlin. This is Leader 6. So I've always I've always thought this would be a great alternative to the now discontinued YSL Supreme leather. Is that what it was called? One of my favorite leather fragrances early on in my journey. It was dried fruits and leather combo, really beautiful. This one kind of has a similarity to that. Once again, a very wearable leather. Leader 6 from J.F. SCHWARZLOSE Berlin. Leather, Osmanthus, vanilla, incense, styrax, milk, and saffron. And I think it's the leather and osmanthus combo that kind of reminds me of Supreme leather from YSL. I think that's the right name. Those of you that remember the leather fragrance from YSL in the square bottles, that's what I'm talking about. But either way, a wonderful offering.
I really like it. Yeah, it has a nice sweetness to it, like the vanilla, I think, and maybe it's the Styrax that gives it that kind of extra resinous
boost.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and it's the osmanthus that's creating the kind of stone fruit like vibe, which stone fruits, apricots, kind of similar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. And then we're moving on to Atelier MATERI with CUIR NILAM. So CUIR NILAM is a brand new release from Atelier MATERI. It's leather, tobacco, cardamom, violet leaves, patchouli, and rose. Oh yeah, this is really, really great. If you like a pronounced violet leaves note against leather with that kind of dirty, ashy tobacco, spicy cardamom with a faint patchouli rose kind of a thing in the base, I really like this one. It has a freshness about it, not a lot of warmth.
Yeah, it's definitely gorgeous. It's really, really, really beautiful. I like this one a lot. It's to me, it's a little bit animalic, no?
No, I don't think so. I don't get
Maybe
it.
it's the leathery thing that's going on, that just because leather, after all, is from an animal.
Yeah, it is. The violet leaves in that one really freshens it up. There's an iciness about it that makes it very, very wearable. So then we're going to the house of Sarah Baker Perfumes. It's Charade. This is a very floral leather fragrance.
I smell the dry down, a little bit more dry down now. Yeah, Sebastian was noting that this one is extremely floral of the entire lineup. I mean, you do get the leather in the dry down, but it's also quite sweet. It has a honeyed undertone, and Styrax gives it again that resinous boost.
Who created this one?
Andreas Wilhelm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did a great job with this one. It's a really great one. If you like the idea of leather with tuberose, it's mostly tuberose as the white flower. Is there anything else in here?
Well, there's benzoin and patchouli.
But the only white flower?
No, I think it's the tuberose.
I feel like I'm getting gardenia or maybe jasmine or something, but I think tuberose can play tricks on our noses.
That could be.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance.
Thank you.
Combination of white flowers and leather. Next, we're going to the house of Parfums and Nicolai. It's Baikal Leather. Are you familiar with this one?
Not really.
So Baikal Leather is leather with iris. There's tonka, saffron, violets, rose, yuzu, pepper, pine, tar, Guaiac wood, vetiver, santal, musk. Baikal, I believe, is somewhere in Russia. I haven't really done my research, but it's a smoky and also powdery leather for me.
Yeah, it is. It is like gunpowder leather.
Yeah, there's that kind of a ashiness about it when you're smelling it.
It's serious. It has a seriousness to it that I like.
Yeah, it's serious, but under there's some sweetness. There's definitely like some sweetness coming in from tonka.
I like the pepper.
Yeah.
It's really good. Pine tar.
Yeah. There
Nice.
you go. And then we've got DS and Durga's Leather Eyes. I've recommended this one quite a bit. It's such a realistic leather smelling fragrance.
It smells like you're in a tanning house.
To me, it smells like a shoe store. The leather off of shoes. It's butterscotch leather with cistus, cubeb, pale orris, cypriol, saffron, vegan castoreum, myrrh, and cadol. What is vegan castoreum?
Well, that would be synthetic castoreum.
I like vegan castoreum, sounds better.
Yeah.
You guys,
yeah,
try this one. This is very interesting. It's actually not really a fragrance. It's supposedly an enhancer. It says fragrance enhancer.
Yeah, interesting.
But it
is a fragrance.
It's a fragrance.
Like, you could definitely rock this. And it is like a hardcore leather. It is like absolutely leathery. There's no doubt about it.
Very leathery.
And when I say tanning house, I mean the tanning houses where they actually...
The tanneries.
The tanneries,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, good.
Next, we're going to the house of Cortana. It's Parfums Cortana and Hierophante. This one right here. Fragrance created by Luca Maffei. This was an award-winning fragrance.
It was, yeah. Just recently won the Art and Olfaction. Yeah, Art and Olfaction Awards in the independent category. So, yeah. Luca Maffei did an amazing job. And Joseph Cortana did a great job directing him. I mean, it's a very unusual artistic fragrance for sure.
I really like this one because you can smell the gasoline. It smells like a car interior of where all the stuff happens, the exhaust and...
It's maybe the rocket ship interior because it's like you're going into outer space to the moon.
That's the inspiration. Yeah, to me it smells like a car, automobile work being done. It's got a gasoline accord. It's suede, nutmeg, Styrax, pyrogene, smoky leather, golden amber, cashmere, and vetiver. Is it Styrax pyrogene?
Ooh, I don't know what pyrogene is actually.
Okay. Styrax pyrogene, or it's just Styrax.
Is that a real thing, or could that be like a Joseph Cortanaism? I'm not. Is pyrogene a fragrant note that you've ever come across?
I've never heard of it before.
Me neither.
Have you heard of it?
Never.
Okay, but either way, Cortana, Parfums Cortana Hierophante. Check that out. It's a very unique fragrance and a great leather offering from them. And then we're going to the house of Jusbox with No Rules into the vinyl direction. If you like the smell of vinyl and leather together, you're going to have to get this one because it's very, very unusual that way. This one's created by Antoine Lee, and it's leather with saffron and record vinyl, aldehydes, lavender, cinnamon, birch, and musk.
And I really like Antoine Lee so much as a perfumer. He's made some of my absolute favorite perfumes that aren't in my house. I'd love to work with him. But yeah, you get the Antoine Leeism in this one. If you're an Antoine Lee fan, absolutely. It is, it's reminiscent of a few fragrances that he created. It's an unusual one. This one has a vinyl feel to it for sure.
He created a fragrance for Costume National, the green one, and that also had a vinyl note.
Okay. So he's good. He's really good at this vinyl.
And actually, Jusbox are related to Costume National.
Oh, are they?
But they're completely different fragrances. This is not green at all. This is very vinyl, though, very leathery.
Yeah, this isn't green. It's really wonderful. It's really growing on me. When I first smelled it, I thought I wasn't really quite sure because of the vinyl was coming out so strong, and I thought a little on the unusual side. I don't know if I'd wear it, but now that I'm smelling it more, I'd like to try wearing it because I think it seems like a really interesting.
Yeah, and it's nicely yellow colored here.
Lovely dry down.
Next, going to the house of Goldfield and Banks, it's Purple Suede. This one right here. This one to me is like wearing leather at a Provençal farmer's market, where they have all the herbs and spices and things. There's a lot of lavender in this one, which totally stands out against the leather, and I like that about it. It does remind me a little bit of something like a Tuscan leather or Ombre leather, but with an overdose of the spices and the herbs like lavender. There's a fruitiness in there as well that we've come to be associated with like Tuscan leather like fragrances.
Oh right, yeah. Is that the raspberry coming
raspberry, yeah. It's quite nice, yeah. If you're looking for like a change of pace from Tuscan leather or something like that with an overdose of lavender, that one definitely you should check out. And I like the name Purple Suede. Lavender is purplish lavender colored, so.
And they're listing Amber Extreme as one of the notes, which I think is really interesting because it's going to have that kind of super intense dry down probably. Like it's going to be really long lasting, and it's going to have a kind of a woody dry down, I would think.
Yeah, woody ambery dry down for sure. All right, up next we've got a fragrance from the house of Milano Fragranza. It's Galleria. So if you got my video with Joe on an overview of Milano Fragranza, This fragrance to me is uber leathery and uber animalic when you first spray it, but the dry down is super fantastic. It's really, really rough start, really rough. You have to sit through the roughness, but it dries down to kind of sweet and gourmandish and suede leather-like,
They're
powdery.
listing coffee beans as a fragrant note, and you get that, but only after maybe 15 minutes. You know, definitely the first half an hour is definitely different from
really rough.
What it smells like.
Really rough.
Further along.
The dry down is amazing. It's so good. You gotta try Galleria. I think it's a great fragrance.
Carrot seeds as well.
Powdery, yeah.
It's so good.
Then going to the house of Diptyque, it's Orilla. Another fragrance that kind of reminds me of Diptyque's, well, not Diptyque's, Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. But once again, a little different. This is created by Fabrice Pellegrin. It's leather, raspberry, saffron, pink pepper, iris, cedar, vanilla, and musk. What do you think? It's fruity.
It's fruity. It's kind of maybe an easier one.
This
like,
is
I
definitely
feel like
not
it's
challenging.
Not challenging my expectations at all.
You're too familiar with that smell.
Yeah, it's like I feel like
recognizable.
It's recognizable. It's kind of, but it's good. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's
nice. Yeah. The house of Francesca Bianchi. This is the Black Knight. And what are your thoughts about this one?
I love this fragrance. It's one of my favorites from Francesca Bianchi because it's just so dark and leathery, but yet sweet. It has like a real dichotomy to it. It's
You get the typical DNA of Francesca Bianchi's, but you've got an amped up leather here, and you also have amped up vetiver. So very masculine offering for the mostly unisex offerings from the house of Francesca Bianchi.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely on the masculine side, but it is sweet. I mean, and you know, not that masculine fragrances aren't sweet, but it definitely has. It's not harsh. It's not harsh at all. It's actually quite delicious.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
To me, it also wears more like a suede leather rather than like this rough, charred, smoky, dark leather.
Right. So is this like? It's not quite. Is it a motorcycle jacket leather or is it like a plush, expensive handbag leather? I don't think it's either of those. Somehow it's like. And I love the title too, Black Knight. So I'm picturing like a knight in shining armor, but he's got some leather elements to his armor.
Okay. Moving on to the house of Floral Street, it's Black Lotus, this one right here. So we've got a lot of black themed fragrances coming out. The Black Knight, Black Lotus, and then we've got one more after this.
Yeah. I guess the word black and the word leather kind of maybe go hand in hand.
This is to me a very rosy, and a lightly fruity leather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's rough though. There's a bit of roughness there, but it eventually develops into the rose, and then there's a sour cherry note, and black violet is in here.
I don't know what that is, but.
So, since you're in the perfume brand world, it's funny, sometimes they make things up like black violet, and it's like...
Well, what is that?
What's white cedar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that sometimes that they
marketing?
Are marketing creations that, to make you, to
appeal
lead
to you more?
But I mean, I think the whole notion of actually dissecting a fragrance through its fragrant notes is, it's something that... you could do, but on the other hand, you could just smell something and say, I like it, or it reminds me of this, or it has it gives me a certain feeling, or it makes me feel a certain way. So, you know, maybe it's not so important to focus on the fragrant notes at times.
Yeah, makes sense. But this is not bad. This is pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's pleasant.
Pleasant, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an easier, well, there is something rough about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like a easygoing fragrance, but I'm not really sure. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's the black violet that is throwing me off. So we're going back to the Francesca Bianchi world, but this is her second line called Hedonique. This is Divine Perversion, this one right here. What are your thoughts about this one? So this one is, I'm just looking for the strip, yeah. So this one is interesting because Hedonique is Francesca's secondary line that is actually jewelry and belts, and this is I think the first fragrance that she's released under this secondary line, Hedonique. Yeah,
to me it's interesting. The leather raspberry I get totally. It's like a match made in heaven combo, And the iris is here, and I think that's a typical signature note of Francesca Bianchi. But caramel is a little off-putting for me, and it kind of reminds me of coconuts, like I'm smelling coconuts with leather. So it's very unusual. It's definitely wearable, but it does get a little animalic, so be warned on this one.
Yeah, I think, and this one I would definitely say it is black leather. Like, it is giving me a black leather with silver studs, and I don't know if that's just because that is a theme that is used a lot in the hedonic luxury jewelry.
There's S&M.
Yeah,
wear.
It definitely has an S&M wear to it, for sure.
Yeah. So this is Divine Perversion from the house of from Hedonique, which is also part of Francesca Bianchi. Then we're going to J.U.S Black Leather. J.U.S Black Leather, do you guys know this one? Do you guys know J.U.S? It's a Japanese line.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
We've got a lot of black-themed fragrances, as mentioned.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one.
I wonder if this one is going to smell like a black leather kind of a motorcycle jacket or black leather trousers, or is it giving you a bit more of that? No,
this one's kind of reminding me of No Rules. It's got that vinyl kind of smell, which I kind of very unique. Leather, jasmine, oak moss, amber, bergamot, tobacco, vanilla, musk. Yeah. Do you get that vinyl-like smell?
A little bit, yeah. I can definitely see the connection that you're making between No Rules. And I'm trying to see if I'm getting like a black leather jacket, a motorcycle jacket. I'm kind of not, but
I'm getting a fake leather jacket.
a vinyl
jacket. No, but it's a definitely very wearable. This line is really great. I hope to do a video on this house very soon. I've done one before. I want to do another one, but if you're curious to check out some of their fragrances, check out Black Leather. And then we're going to the house of Orto Parisi. This is Koyam. This one right here. This is a very animalic leather fragrance to me. Yes.
Oh my God, when I first smelled it, it didn't have, maybe I just was smelling too many, but I didn't have the animalic fragrance note that I just picked up in the dry down because we sprayed those strips about an hour ago. And definitely it is animalic.
Yeah, this is definitely animalic. If you like the animal with your fragrance, definitely check out Koyam.
I like it a lot.
You do? You like animalic fragrances?
I do, yeah. I do like it. It's so beautiful.
And then we've got one more left for you. Oh. And this one goes into the gourmand direction.
Mm-hmm.
This is Unui Nomad's Sugar Leather, this one right here. Have you guys heard of this one? What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a gourmand.
No.
No. Is it? Or would you consider it a gourmand?
I mean, it's gourmand light.
Yeah, gourmand light.
To me, it smells like Wajan a little bit with an overdose of leather. Mm-hmm. Do you know Wajan from Marley?
I don't.
No? That's what it reminds me. It's leather, cinnamon, caramel, labdanum, amyris. So all that kind of spicy, sweet notes is kind of giving me a Wajan-like smell with the whole leather that's in here. Mm-hmm. Sugar Leather. That is the last fragrance we're talking about today. What are your thoughts on these fragrances? Have you tried them? Do you like them? Is there another underrated leather fragrance that you guys enjoy wearing that you could let us know about so we can check out in the future? Other than that, thanks so much for doing this video with me.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
Bye.